Welcome to a new episode of What the F, the first episode of the new year. I hope everyone who's watching this, how many or few there are, had a good year, had a good 2015 and a good New Year's night. Had a good night as well myself, just the usual over to my brother's house watching Jules Holland. He always has good musical guests, especially on New Year's. But yeah, so I'm getting back into the old video recording, and again this is the first one of 2016, and I'll be releasing a video a week for the next 2 weeks, not including this week, because I have, I'm doing the thing that I'm doing now, and then I've got 2 other subjects that I'm going to cover in my next 2 videos. So yep, I'll be getting to those soon enough. So yeah. Now, the first video of 2016, what I thought I'd do is, it's not really about a particular subject or topic like I've done, I've covered topics like abortion and Batman and Superman conventions and keeping fit and all that. But this isn't, it's not really about a specific subject. It's a fun video. The next few videos actually are going to be good. I'm looking forward to them. But this one is what I've been thinking about doing for a while now. And it's essentially a list of 10 questions. Now these questions come from a TV program that I watch the odd time whenever I can find it. And it's called Inside the Actor's Studio. Now it's hosted by a guy called James Lipton. And what essentially the show is, I mean, some of you may have heard of it, but for those of you who haven't, what it is he brings up a guy from an actor or an actress or someone involved in Hollywood in the showbiz industry. Generally, it's actors because it's called Inside the Actor's Studio, and the audience is comprised of students who are in the actor's studio. It's an acting school in America. They're students, and they basically are the audience for this kind of Q&A session. James Lipton, he'll interview whatever actor, like he's had, Clooney, Tom Hanks, and you know what I mean, actors and actresses of that kind of caliber, and he'll interview them, about their career, their life, their career. The audience, the audience asks questions, and then the very last thing is the questionnaire, which is what I'm going to do. Now it's 10 questions, as I said already. It's they're weird questions. They're not straightforward. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite movie? They're nothing like that. It's these questions actually come. The origin for them isn't solely from James Lipton and Inside the Actor's Studio. They actually, according to the thing I have here, came from a French TV show called Bouillon de Culture, hosted by a guy called Bernard Pivot. This list of questions, they're apparently meant to reveal a lot about a person's thoughts and about their personality. I would say it's almost like a psychological questionnaire, They're not personal probing questions. They're just these interesting questions that and it was always my favorite segment of the show, because again you could get some weird answers, because again they're kind of weird questions. So I thought what I'll do is answer these questions myself, and I've got them listed here in the old trusty word pad on the computer, and yeah, so I'll get the show on the road with the first question. The question 1 is, what is your favorite word? Tough one, that, because I swear a lot, but that'll come into play in a later question. But I don't know. I mean, if I had to pick a word that I like, is and it's one I use a word a lot myself actually, and is brilliant. I think if I had to pick, what is my favorite word, non-swearing word, I'd say brilliant, because it's a good positive word. I mean, sometimes alright it can be a bad one. You're like, oh, brilliant. That's just sarcasm. But generally the word brilliant is, positive kind of thing. When something good happens, when you're working for something and something good happens, you're like, fucking brilliant, did it. It's a good positive word. So that would be my favorite word. The question 2 is, what is your least favorite word? And I have to believe that most people would have the same answer. My least favorite word would actually be no. The word no, because no one wants to hear no. Like, it's a word that is just, it's primarily negative. I mean, there's no good way of no. It's just it's a negative word that we don't really like to hear, because we work hard for something, and then we go no. It's an awful word, really, when you hear about it, when you think about it. So what's question 3? Question 3. Excuse me. What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally? Good question, and answer for that for me is good conversation. Like, sometimes, I would consider myself, like, when I think about it, like, I'm kind of socially awkward, in the sense that I'm the guy who'd be at a party and just sitting there by himself with his drink, just kind of hoping, I don't want to talk to anyone, or don't talk to me, don't pay attention, because I find that sometimes when I'm in conversation with somebody, it's difficult, like small talk. Sometimes I hate those silences in between conversation. What I love, though, is when you talk to someone, when you meet someone, and there's a common there's a common interest, a common subject, like, that you can talk about and talk loads about. It's like when I go to my on my weekends, to the conventions, the sci-fi conventions. I have great conversations there, because I'm talking to people who are interested in it like I am, and it just can talk for hours and hours, to the point of where the throat being sore, which has happened on occasion on those weekends, where you just keep on talking. It's just a great conversation. You don't want it to end. You're just having a great time. And yeah, that's that would really get me going. Like, I don't know about spiritually, and I don't consider myself a very spiritual person. I'm an atheist, but it's emotionally what turns me on creatively, spiritually, emotionally, with the question, and definitely will be good conversation, because it's great when you're just talking to somebody and it's effortless. All right, what's question number 4? What turns you off? Another good question. They're all good questions so far. What turns me off? I'd have to say negativity. Too much negativity. We all have that person in our lives that's just like, Christ, everything's mean, everything's bad and depressing and down. And sometimes that attitude can almost be infectious. When you spend enough time around a negative person, you yourself will become negative. I'm convinced of it. And it's just, I try to be, we all have our moments of, like, pessimism and negativity every now and then, I think, like, most people prefer to be positive, to have, like, to be more lighthearted, to be fucking more happy, because, like, if you spend too much time being negative all the time, like, I hear people sometimes talking, and all this spews negative, all bad negative things. But what kind of fucking happy life is that? The goal in life, I think, is to just be happy, live a good life, and enjoy yourself. But if you're negative all the time, that's just a terrible way to be, I think. So yeah, too much negativity would definitely turn me off. Anything really. My favorite question. What is your favorite curse word? Now this was a tough one. This was a tough one, because I kind of swear. I think I already said I swear a lot. I try, and it's just the way I speak. I don't swear for gratuitous sake or just to get a reaction. It's just the way I speak. I say all sorts of swearing. And also, it seems to be a stereotypical thing of the Irish. We tend to swear a lot. Like, some people say we swear a lot because, we're frustrated at speaking in a foreign tongue. We don't speak our scale, the Irish language, so we use swear words like it's almost an act of rebellion against the English language. Because most people are like, ooh, you can't be swearing. And goes, well, look, this isn't my language, so I'll say whatever the fuck I please. So I just said it. My favorite swear word would have to be fuck, because it's the one I use most. Because it can almost be used in a positive way as well, depending on context of what you're saying. But it's a good word. It's the word, like, you know, where you're frustrated, you're like, fuck. You know, it can help. It's almost like, you know, that utterance, that kind of, it can you know, help, you know, so in that way it can be positive. So the F word, fuck, is my favorite curse word. It's actually in the title of this show as well. I just kind of block out 2 of the letters. Why, I don't know. Alright, next question is, what sound or noise do you love? And yeah, I'm pretty certain on that one. And it's a weird one now. I don't know if everybody would have the same answer. I mean, most people would have different answers. But I'd have to go with water. The sound of water, you know, be it like, you know, not necessarily rushing from a tap, but when you're pouring water into a glass, and that the noise of flowing, running water is just, it's kind of a soothing sound. I mean, psychologically, they say that, like, you know, oh, like, you listen to, like, running water and a sound like that, it'll make you want to it'll give you the feeling of wanting to go to the fucking toilet. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I've never tried that, but I just love the sound of, like, you know, waterfalls. And I like the sound of a piano as well, because for some reason when I hear piano playing, it's weird saying it, but it sounds like water to me. You know, it has the sound of, like, you know, trickling water. You know, it's just a very lovely, relaxing sound. I like that. Okay, what's next? What sound or noise do you hate? It's good to go from one side of the question to the other. I've said the noise I love, now the noise I hate. The noise I fucking hate is fire alarms. Now, I know these are devices for safety. They're devices to save lives. But fucking hell, it's an annoying sound. And the reason that's fresh in my mind now is because we have what I'm convinced is a defective fucking fire alarm. Because it keeps going off. There is no fire, no smoke, nothing. The damn thing keeps going off. I'm frankly surprised it's not going off right now. Excuse me. But I think there's something wrong with it, because it just keeps going off. There's no smoke, there's nothing to fucking set it off yet. This thing just keeps going, and it's fucking loud and repetitive and annoying. And as I said, I know it's a life-saving device, and it'll certainly save your fucking life if it goes off. But when it's just the most annoying, irritating sound, when it just keeps going off for no reason at all. Just terrible sound. Fucking hate it. Anyway, what's next? What profession other than your own would you like to attempt? That's a kind of a tough one now, because I think about it. Like, you know, I've been in my job now for 16 years. And my job title is general operative, where I work, which generally means I do a bit of everything. But so I don't necessarily have a singular job, in the sense that this is what I do from 8 to 4 every day. I could be doing, like I was doing something today, tomorrow I could be doing something totally different. It depends on what I've been trained to do. I've been trained in multiple areas in the factory I work in. So sometimes I might be here, sometimes I might be there. So I've never had a singular career, so that's a tough one. I mean, I do remember when I was a young lad, I always wanted to be a guard. To the non-Irish, that's what we call the police force on Garda Síochána. And that's what I wanted to be. But back when I wanted to do that, the criteria was very strict. They wanted someone of a certain height, a certain weight, and you had to be fluent 100% in the Irish language. Now, they've relaxed it somewhat now. You know, the rules aren't as strict as they were, which sucks, because I mean, I could hardly join on Garda Síochána now. But no, I mean, even if the weight and height restrictions weren't there when I was younger, I would have been screwed by the fucking Irish language alone, because I've never been good at it. You know, I mean, like, you know, fucking the English were here for 800 years, they outlawed our language, they went home. In that intervening time, you know, we've had this is like this 1916, the anniversary of the Easter Rising, where the whole Irish rebellion essentially fucking kicked off, and we got the English out. But in that intervening time, since Ireland became a republic, it's not been great for the Irish language. Most people don't speak it. There are pockets of areas around the country where the Irish is still spoken. But for the most part, nobody does. Nobody speaks it, really. It's not necessarily a dead language, absolutely not. I mean, I would like to think that my nieces and nephews will grow up knowing and understanding that language better than I did. Because maybe they taught it wrong to us when we were young, I don't know. But I was never any good at it. And on Garda Síochána, when you're one of the guards, when you fill in a report, you got to fill it in both English and Irish. That would have screwed me along. So that's what I wanted to do when I was younger. But if I'm thinking about right now, what would I like to have a go at? And strange enough, I would love this. It was karaoke host. Now I know that's a weird one to pick, but I always whenever I go, I'll actually be going to a karaoke session on Saturday. And I always loved karaoke. I was nervous as hell first time I did it, but it's great crack. It's a good laugh, and I just would love to be the host of it. I'd sing a few tunes, get somebody up, and then I'd sing myself again. I'd love to have it good. That'd be fun. That'd be great. Because I'd enjoy that. I'd always be looking forward to work. Sometimes I'm not looking forward to work. If I were hosting karaoke sessions in pubs and clubs, I'd always be looking forward to that. That'd be a great fucking job. Okay, the penultimate question, the question before the last one. What profession would you not like to do? Again, most of these questions are what do you like, what don't you like? I like the kind of, both sides of it. And basically anything to do with cleaning. It's the one thing I'll do any job. I've done varying jobs in my life. I've worked in shops. I worked in HMV. I once worked on a fruit farm picking strawberries. And then I got the current job I'm in now, which again, I've been there 16 years. It'll be 17 years this year, actually, in October. And but the one thing that I've done in that intervening time that I have hated with a passion is cleaning. For two reasons, really. One is a health reason. One is just I don't like it. The health reason is I have bronchial asthma. Now it's not major severe asthma, but any cleaning really aggravates my chest. That's why I'll clean my room, but sparingly. I probably don't clean my room as much as you should, but I try to. I will do it, but again, it really wrecks my chest. So I tend to leave it a while before I do things like that. I don't mind hoovering my room. There's not much dust thrown up when that happens, but it's when I gotta fucking wipe down surfaces, dust gets everywhere, and it just fucking really wrecks my chest. I have to take multiple hits off the inhaler. But also, that's the kind of main reason. But another big reason is it's horrible. I've had to clean in my job, excuse me, in my time, and it's horrible. It's just respect to the people who do it for a living. These people who work in sewers and who are cleaners who work to clean the toilets. It's fucking horrible. I've never had to clean toilets, but I've had to clean some horrible fucking shit, and again, those days where I had to do that in work, I was just I wonder could I get away with just burning this place down, because it's a horrible. It's horrible to me. Again, I just wouldn't. I could never do that for a job for a living. I'd hate work every day, and I'd probably end up either killing myself or someone else. So I definitely wouldn't want that. So here we are at the last question. Now this is the most interesting of all the questions, especially for someone like me, because it presupposes that I believe in God. The question is basically, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates? Now again, I've said already, I'm an atheist. I don't believe in heaven. I don't believe in hell. I don't believe consciousness survives death. I believe when you die, that's it. Your time is up. But let's suppose that I'm wrong. Don't get me wrong. I hope I'm fucking wrong. I love it. Because I understand the selling point of religion. You suffer in life. You die. You've repented your sins. You go to heaven where it's all blissful and happy, and all the loved ones that have died in your life, you'll get to see them again. I love that. I've lost people in my life. My nan, my granddad, most recently my mother. I'd love to see them again. I would like to, but I don't think I will. You know, it's not what I believe. But this question, like, you know, again asks, you know, what would I like to hear God say? Um, and again, I'm presupposing, what if it's all real? And I get there, there's God, I'm at the gate. What would I say? What, not what would I say to him? What would I like to hear him say to me? I mean, what I would like to say to him is the title of this fucking show. You know, what the fuck? You know, murder, rape, pillage, disease, famine, death, all this misery in the world. What the fuck did you do it all for? Because supposedly God's responsible for everything. So why the fuck did he do that? What's the point? The meaning of life, if you will. That's what I'd like to know. What's it all for? But this question stipulates, what would I like to hear him say to me? And frankly, what I would like to hear him say, if he is real, I'd like to hear an apology. You know, I'd like to hear him say, I'm sorry, I fucked up. Because, I mean, they say God's perfect. If God's perfect, why the hell did he create us? We're imperfect. I mean, how can somebody perfect create something imperfect? We're told we're told God made us in his image. Again, God, they say, is perfect. So clearly he made a mistake. They're like, oh, God don't make mistakes. But he did, he made us. He supposedly created two people. God knows everything. See, he knows the past, present, and future. He knew fucking Adam and Eve were going to betray him. Why the fuck did he let him do it then? Why the hell did he plant the bloody tree there? Why did he put the snake there? You know? So it's, that's what I would like to hear him say to me. Like, you know, just an apology. He goes, look, clearly I made a fucking mistake. I created you people. I created this lovely planet for you. You're fucking murdering and raping each other, and you're killing the planet as well while you're at it. You know? So, basically what I would like to hear God say is, sorry. Screwed up. That was a mini little rant. I apologize for that. This video started on such a good note. But, I always get kind of aggravated when I talk about that, because again, it makes no sense to me. It baffles me how anyone can believe in that kind of thing. But, again, to each their own. But this was a good video anyway, actually. I liked it, because that's a good list of questions, you know. I'll actually include a link to those questions with this video where I found them. Because, I mean, if you want to, I'd like to hear what you think. I'd like to hear your responses to these questions. You know? Tell me what you think. And again, if there's a topic in the future that you would like me to address, feel free. Again, at the end credits of the video are my social media and email details that you could contact me if you so desire to do so. So, yep, that's it for the first video of 2016. There will hopefully be many more throughout the year. There definitely will be 2 more in the coming weeks that I'm looking forward to. And, yep, that's about it, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.